Time now for the morning rush. We do begin with breaking news this hour. Police are currently on scene at the Giant gas station on Central and Eubank. That's where you find News 13's Sarah Yingling with the very latest on this. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Crystal. Well, it's still a very active scene. In fact, APD has the gas station taped off right now. Information is still coming in, but this is what we know at this point. APD says that one clerk inside the store was stabbed. They are still alive, but right now nobody is in custody at this time. As you can see, it is still a very active scene with CSI and multiple police cruisers still here on the scene. As more information becomes available, we'll let you know on air and online. Back to you.
All right, thanks for that update, Sarah. On to more news for you. The city says it's looking to the state legislature now to help clear its backlog of rape kits by the end of 2020. The city says they've tested nearly 3,000 rape kits so far in that massive backlog. It's about half. Last year, the city had only submitted 170 of the more than 5,000 untested rape kits. Now the city is planning to ask the state for $650,000 to contract a vendor that would reduce processing times. Kristen.
Mostly cloudy skies sticking around through the day today. Likely to see a little bit more of that light rain and light snowfall too, favoring western and southern New Mexico. It's not going to be a huge amount, but that will be the case through the day and even overnight. A few spot showers. The majority of this does clear out late Tuesday. Crystal?
The father of a 7-year-old girl from Guatemala who died in U.S. custody signed a form saying his daughter was in good health shortly before she died. But what's not certain is if he understood the form. Border Patrol agents read the form to him in Spanish, his second language. Just what happened in the hours before Jacqueline Cayel died remains under investigation this morning. We know that she and her father were picked up near Antelope Wells, near the U.S.-Mexico border in New Mexico. She was transported to a Border Patrol station and died at an El Paso hospital. For more details, go to our website, KRQE.com. The White House and Congress face a deadline this Friday to reach a deal on a budget to avoid a partial government shutdown. It's not looking good. On Sunday, the White House doubled down, saying Congress will provide $5 billion for a wall along the Mexican border. In the meantime, though, Democratic Senator Chuck Schumer said President Trump is not going to get the wall in any form because there are not enough votes for it in the House or in the Senate. Of course, we'll let you know if it forces a partial shutdown right here on KRQE News 13. On to news, new at 6, the Reverend of the Cathedral Basilica of St. Francis of Assisi is taking a leave of absence, citing, quote, personal challenges. This is according to the Santa Fe New Mexican, who does report Reverend Adam Ortega y Ortiz announced the decision at the end of Mass on Sunday morning. He said he needs more time to deal with these problems. No word on what those problems are. He also made it clear that he would not be returning. The Archdiocese of Santa Fe plans to choose his successor early next year. 2 men continuing to recover this morning from gunshot wounds. New this morning, though, we're now learning what police say led to the shots being fired. Police say the shooting happened at an apartment complex near Osuna in San Pedro around 3:30 yesterday afternoon. They say the men were in a fight with one another. Both of them were transported to UNM Hospital for treatment. At last check, one is still listed as critical this morning. Also this morning, the death of an 8-year-old girl found dead inside her charred Sunland Park home, now being investigated as a homicide. Very upsetting story here. The fire began at this mobile home near Mesquite Drive early Thursday morning. Firefighters responding to the call found the home engulfed in flames. Inside that home, 8-year-old Marissa Munoz, she was found dead. Now state investigators say the fire was set intentionally. Initial findings from the State Fire Marshal's office point to arson. Kristen.
Today's Metro Threat Index at a 4. We've got some cold temperatures in the 30s this morning, but also that chance of a spot shower. If we see anything at all, Albuquerque, it's just going to be some light rain. I don't expect it to amount to much. Crystal?
A new lawsuit against UNM hospitals moving forward this morning. Matthew Chavez was treated at UNMH earlier this year after being hit by a car while he was on his motorcycle. He was rushed to the hospital where his attorney says the belongings he had on him were gone when he left. That did include a ring from his grandfather. He says all of it is adding up to $3,000. UNM hospital policy states the hospital is responsible for securing a patient's property or immediately giving it to family. UNMH has not commented on the lawsuit just yet. Kristen.
Time now for a check on that morning commute. We don't have any major crashes out there to worry about. Like Sarah mentioned earlier, we do have the police situation Central and Eubank, so they're asking you to avoid that area. Your alternate would be either Lomas or Wyoming.
UNM Lobo men's basketball team waking up big winners this morning. The team snapped their losing streak yesterday as they hosted Central Arkansas at the Pit. Recent Kansas transfer Carlton Bragg took to the court for the first time in a year and a half. Bragg put up 16 points, helping the Lobos secure an 82-70 victory. Lobos take on the University of North Texas tomorrow. We wish them good luck.
All right, we are taking you back 23 years ago on this day in New Mexico history. A string of 75 days without measurable precip came to an end in Clovis. They actually the next day picked up close to 2 inches of snowfall. So 75 days of that rain that ended on this day, December 17th, 1995, out there in Clovis, New Mexico.
Not happening this year.
Nope.
Time for the 5 facts.
We start with number 5. Looking ahead for you, a new display could soon be coming to the New Mexico Museum of Natural History. This after local paleontologists discovered a new species of dinosaur. Researchers say bones collected 20 years ago in southern Arizona are that of a ceratopsid, a relative of the widely known Triceratops. The horned dinosaur is 73 million years old. Stay tuned for more details.
Number 4 now, one of the newest members of Albuquerque Fire Rescues beginning her second week on the job this morning. Already, she's proving to be a valuable asset to the team. Meet Wheezy. She's an accelerant detection canine and the only ADC in the state. Wheezy's job is, after a fire breaks out, going back to the scene and helping firefighters determine if it was a crime.
At number 3, cloudy sky today, some light rain and snow favoring western and southern New Mexico. We do have more wind coming in midweek, but the temperatures stay mild in the 50s.
Number 2 now, a new lawsuit against UNM hospitals moving forward this morning after an Albuquerque man claims he left the hospital with less than he walked in with. Matthew Chavez was rushed to UNMH after being hit by a car while he was on his motorcycle. Chavez says his driver's license, insurance cards, debit card, cash, and even a ring from his grandfather were all gone by the time he left. UNMH policy states a hospital is responsible for securing a patient's property or immediately sending it home with the family. UNMH has not commented on the suit just yet. If you want more details, go to our website. That's KRQE.com. On to number 1 now. The city says it's looking to the state legislature to help clear its backlog of rape kits by 2020. So far, the city of Albuquerque says it's cleared half of it by testing nearly 3,000 kits so far. Last year, the city had only submitted 170 of their more than 5,000 untested rape kits. When Mayor Tim Keller took office, APD and the Sexual Assault Evidence Response Team were required to come up with a plan. They say that plan now includes money from the legislature they'll be asking for come January.